Hey guys, this is Physical Biology. Starting from today, I will be teaching you the skill to solve the SPM Biology past year questions. Question 2. Diagram 2 shows a paramecium species that live in the fresh water. This is the paramecium. Okay, so let's bring the explanation here. Let's say this is the paramecium. And from the questions, we know that this paramecium is living in the fresh water. And we have the structure Y in the paramecium. Now, first of all, we need to know what is the structure Y. Structure Y is actually the contractile vacuole. In one paramecium, supposedly they will have two contractile vacuole. Now, what is the functions of contractile vacuole? Contractile vacuole is a vacuole that helps the paramecium to control the water content in their body. So we call it as osmoregulation. Osmo means water, regulation means regulate. Now, why this contractile vacuole need to control the water content in paramecium? As I mentioned earlier, this paramecium is living in the fresh water. If you compare the water content in the water and the water content in the salt, the water concentration in the fresh water will be higher compared to the water concentration in the salt. In this case, we can say that fresh water is hypotonic compared to the salt, which is hypertonic. The fresh water will keep on diffusing into the paramecium through osmosis. Now, try to imagine, if there are a lot of water moving into the paramecium will eventually burst. So this contractile vacuole, it will contract to remove or pumps out all the water to prevent the paramecium from bursting. Now, look at the questions. What will happen to the paramecium species if structure Y does not function? So let's say structure Y can no longer function. It means that they cannot pump out the water. Water will keep on moving into the paramecium, and then eventually this paramecium will burst. So this answer should be A. Now, in biology, there's another word to replace burst, which is lysis. So let's say you see these words in the SPM in the future, please remember that they are having the same meaning. For these questions, you need a lot of understanding and a little bit of memorizing. So overall, I think this question is not really difficult. I think I will rate it 5/10. Let's check out another question. Diagram 4 shows the movement of the substances across the plasma membrane. So what you can see here is there are some substances outside the cell trying to move across the plasma membrane to the inside of the cell. Check out the molecules outside the cell. We have 3 of them here. And inside the cell, we have 5 of them here. In this case, this substance is moving from the low concentration area to the high concentration area with the help of the ATP. So from here, I'm sure this transport is known as the active transport. So now look at the questions. Which of the following statements explains the movement of substances in diagram 4? Movement of substances going down the concentration gradient. Now, what is the meaning of going down the concentration gradient? Going down the concentration gradient means the substance moves from a high concentration area to the low concentration area. So this is the meaning of going down the concentration gradient. As we mentioned just now, the active transport is substance moving from a low concentration area to a high concentration area. So A is not the answer. Let's continue with B. Movement of substances against the concentration gradient. So this is correct. Substance against the concentration gradient, which means that the substance is moving from a low concentration area to a high concentration area. This is the meaning, against the concentration gradient. But you look at the last part of this sentence, with the help of the pore protein. So remember, pore protein, it has another name called channel protein. If you look back to the diagram above, you will notice that this protein will change the shape, which can fit the substance. So if they can change the shape and this protein is using ATP to transport the substance, I'm sure this is the carrier protein. Okay, so if the option is saying with the help of pore protein, then question B is wrong as well. Now look at C. Movement of concentration from the region low concentration to high concentration. This is the active transport. Now with the help of carrier protein, yes, all correct. So the answer supposedly is C. Now look at option D. Option D, movement of substances from the region of high concentration to a low concentration. Now, high concentration to low concentration, this one is the passive transport. So D is wrong. This question needs a lot of memorizing and a little bit of understanding. So overall, I think I will give it 6 out of 10 for the difficulty level. For the last questions, you need to fully understand the question, then with a little bit of memorizing, you should be able to do these questions. And be careful that this question is a little bit tricky. So guys, try out these 7 marks questions and write down the answer in the comment sections. I will like your answer if you got it correct. See you in the next video. Bye.